how Christian Pulisic will fit in at Manchester United. United have been linked with a move to bring Christian Pulisic on loan to Manchester United. I think could be a good move considering that his contract currently ends in 2024. Christian Pulisic is a player that's capable of playing on the right hand side as a number 10 and on the left. Quite two-footed. From the analysis that I've done today, capable of going on the inside, on the right, on the outside and hitting the byline. And I think he's got a real potential in the Premier League. And I think one of the big things that he's not had for Chelsea so far is minutes. You take a look at him, his statistics over his time at Chelsea. He's featured in 44% of the total competitive minutes since joining them in 2019. He's missed 364 days with injury since joining Chelsea, but he's also missed, that's a total of 44 games. Chelsea have played 179 games in that period, which would lock up to about 16,000 minutes. But Pulisic has hardly had a shout at all playing for Chelsea. Over his 74 Premier League appearances, he scored 19 goals and got himself 8 assists. But he's slightly underperforming his expected goals in that period by about 3. So getting into good positions, but maybe not necessarily taking his chances. I think he's a player that would add depth to United, and that's something that United need right now, is depth in the side. When we look at his 2021, averaged just 59 minutes per appearance, started just 13 games. This is hardly anything. Scored himself 6 goals and got 2 assists last season in the Premier League. From a sort of profile perspective, he is quite, very much, as we mentioned there, a winger that can go both ways, go inside and go outside. In fact, out of his 6 goals that he scored, 4 of which were scored with his left foot. One of his 2 assists as well was a left-footed cross that he cut in on the right wing and whipped it to the back post. The big thing with him, that he adds a bit of intensity to your team in terms of those dribbles per game. Last season was 1.1, but over the time in the Premier League, he's completed 47% of his 5.2 dribbles per 90. So, of course, this successful dribbles per game is taken down because of the minutes that Pulisic plays. But if he's averaging about 5 dribbles per 90 when he's actually getting time there, you can kind of build that dynamic element that he could bring to Manchester United. I also quite like him in a defensive situation. Obviously, coming from Borussia Dortmund, he's going to know how to press and to squeeze the play. And he's going to be that kind of like tactically intelligent player that maybe Manchester United need. I think the big thing with Chelsea, of course, under Thomas Tuchel is they've really struggled with forwards. Many forwards have come through the doors over the years, but at the moment we're seeing the likes of Lukaku failing, Timo Werner failing, and it looking like Raheem Sterling is probably kind of the perfect fit for Thomas Tuchel, who's more of kind of an inside forward than a player like a Christian Pulisic. They kind of play a little bit more narrow, the Chelsea, in their shape and system. They're sort of 3-4-1-2. It is kind of 2 number 10s. And I genuinely think Christian Pulisic's best attribute is receiving wide, receiving in a 1v1, and dribbling and taking you on. Let's take a game that he played last season. One of his better performances came at Burnley, and again played from the left-hand side, but also played from the right-hand side. It was a very fluid performance from Christian Pulisic. Grabbed himself a goal and assist, 2 shots, 5 out of his 10 dribbles completed, and created himself a chance. Won 10 of his 18 duels. That's a big thing that I like to have a look at with attacking players. Are they winning those duels? Are they winning their tackles? Are they completing their dribbles? Are they beating their opponent in that sense? And Pulisic is very much someone that has done that. I think one of his biggest goals for Chelsea over sort of his tenure there came against Liverpool in the Premier League, and that's something that I think you've got to view Pulisic as kind of that type of player that can kind of perform in these bigger games, because he can do. Another one, let's say the Champions League semi-final against Chelsea, Pulisic was absolutely fantastic on the right wing against Real Madrid, one of the best teams in Europe. Scored from his single shot. Completed 5 out of his 7 dribbles, 3 chances created, but very right side, and I think this is good for United. United really do lack depth on the right wing. I think Sancho's obviously the guy that can start there, but they need bodies there, in case Sancho's out of form, or let's say Sancho wants to play Sancho from the left because of a game state. Pulisic would come in and add a good body there. Also grabbed an assist in the other leg off the bench. Similar again, playing down the right-hand side, created 2 chances, got himself an assist to get Chelsea through to a Champions League final. He's a player with calibre. And I genuinely like it. If it was, let's say we're looking at a Cody Gakpo, let's say, who is more left-sided than right-sided, because Pulisic is kind of comfortable on both feet and is comfortable as playing as a traditional winger, I actually quite like the move. I like the sound of the move for Manchester United. He has played number 10. He's played left. He's played right. He's played as a striker. So there's that kind of fluidity in his game. But first and foremost, for United, when they do sort their build-up from the back, when they finally, sort their possession shape out, and we get to a point of Ten Hag's spell when we are creating 1v1s for our wingers in these sort of situations and areas, that's when someone like a Christian Pulisic could really do some damage, when he's got a 1v1, when he can take people on, when he can dribble past them and so forth. And I do like it. Obviously, I'd prefer a left-footed a forward, an Antony is the absolute, dream. But, if you've not got an Antony and you've got a Christian Pulisic in there that is performing at a expected goals and plus expected assist from open play at 0.55 per 90, so basically a goal involvement from an XG perspective every other game from open play, I quite like that. It's talent, it's pace, it's speed, it's, a player that's come from a good academy that presses. There's crazier moves, and even if it was a loan move, let's say United get him on loan for a season and pay let's say 5 million to 10 million or however much it is for the loan, and then, they could sign him for a cheaper fee in the summer, let's say at 30 mil or something. I think that's really good business. I actually like this move with United, a player that's got Premier League experience, that knows what it's like, that just simply hasn't played enough for Chelsea. But as we've shown in the Champions League, put in some real top-level performances. So, it's one of those things where I saw it and I thought about it and I'm like, this could really work. You also think about the side of it with Jadon Sancho, with Marcus Rashford. Having another body there that can come in and that can play will elevate their games as well. You think about Luke Shaw when Alex Telles was signed for United, that he stepped his game up. Luke Shaw put in a lot of really good performances. Obviously, Tyrell Malacia now should definitely be number one, a lot faster with the mind, Tyrell Malacia. But having Christian Pulisic to, compete with Marcus Rashford, but also to compete with Jadon Sancho as the right winger, I think is genuinely a good thing. United need more depth. The signings need to be made. We could have done a lot more business earlier on in the window, but now maybe acting on these things, Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic, I'd take any of those 3 players from Chelsea, which would be kind of decent. I genuinely think someone like Dan James would do well under Erik Ten Hag, but Pulisic is a better Dan James, so why not do it? And we've got Captain America on our team. Deal done, sorted. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments below, would you take Christian Pulisic at Manchester United? We're on the road to 50k on this channel, guys, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn the notification bell on so you don't miss out any of this wonderful content. I'll see you later. Goodbye.